All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. This lesson is going to be going into how social media and the internet has exposed the folly of women, man, and it's exposed that pretty much most women these days are evil, man. All right, it's exposed it, man. Like, the internet's been used for many things. There's been many uses that the Most High, that Yahweh has used for the internet. One of the main ones, obviously, being how He's used it to spread truth throughout the earth, man. Right? Not only the truth of the Bible, but many other hidden truths that people are that's going on as well. For example, like if a president says one thing now, right, through the internet we're able to see people are always out there exposing Esau and showing how he said something completely different maybe 2 weeks ago or a year ago, and this disease thing that's going on around the earth has been exposed on many occasions through the internet, man. But the internet's also been used to expose women. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 26. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleaseth God shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. Behold, this I have found, saith the preacher, counting one by one to find the account, which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among 1,000 have I not found. So among 1,000 women, it can't be found a righteous woman. It's not found among 1,000. Now, that's not saying that there's no righteous women in the world, right? But the ratio would not be 1 in 1,000, and it might not be 1 in 2,000. You probably have to go 1 in 1,000,000 in order to find a righteous woman, right? And if King Solomon couldn't find one, we ain't got no business thinking that we found one, ultimately. This is Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. So, and even men in this world that have rubies and have all of these things, they can't find one, right? King Solomon, he had riches beyond measure, man. And he had 1,000 women to really do the ultimate test of what he said about 1 among 1,000. So King Solomon, with his 1,000 women, none of them women were righteous. That's what we have to understand, that he had 1,000 women all to himself, and none of them were found righteous in his eyes. None of them were found righteous in his eyesight, according to what the Bible says what righteousness is, because that's what he was using to measure it. He wasn't using his own thoughts, he was using the Bible to measure it. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. So he wasn't examining it through his own eyesight and through what he thought. He was examining it through what the Bible says. And he came to the conclusion through his whole examining of life, right? Which he tested things out, man. And his conclusion was that women are more bitter than death. And his conclusion was that the whole duty of man is to fear God and keep his commandments. He tested things out and he found out that that's the whole purpose of life, man. But back onto the point, which it still hits towards the point anyway, the overall point is that social media has exposed you women, man, and has showed that you women are ultimately wicked, man. That you women are adulterous, women that eateth and wipeth your mouths, and said that you've done no wickedness, man. And we already know what's being wiped. This is Proverbs chapter 30 and verse 20. Such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth, and saith, I have done no wickedness. And that's how women are. Every single, if you test this out, man, you can test this out for yourself, man. Brothers, man, you can test this out for yourself. Like, I'm not trying to make it like you don't know. Some of you will know way more than I know, man. Way more. But you can test this out and just see. And like, whenever a woman breaks up with a guy, right, which she's not supposed to do that, and trying to get with another dude anyway, she's supposed to wait till that man's dead. So that's even a sign that it exposes women. But when a woman breaks up with a man, it's always his fault as to why the relationship broke up. Whenever a woman so-called cheats on him, whenever a woman whenever a woman commits adultery on her husband, right, she always blames him. She don't think that she did nothing wrong, man. She'll always blame him for the reason as to why things went left. It will never be her fault. It will never be because she was being annoying. because she tried to treat him like a piece of dirt. It will always be because of her, because of him, why things went bad. It will never be anything to do with her, ever. And social media has been used to expose that, man. You've got many people out there that are exposing women. You've got Kevin Samuels that's slicing these women to the soul. Before him, you had Tommy Sotomayor. Before and during the same time as that, you had Corey Holcomb that he used to talk about women. Before even him, Patrice O'Neill used to go into women. Before that, before that, the Apostles of Great Millstone, they was bunning out these women for a long time, man. You had the whole You're a Slut video that came out where that Jamaican Rastafari woman came out, man. That demon, man, talking all that Rastafari BS. You had that video and many of the other multitude of videos where they're going on to how women are wicked, right? Then now in this time now, you got the Kevin Samuels, you got Fresh and Fit, you got AMS, you got Steffi's Code, you got all these multitude of channels, Manosphere Highlights Daily, all of these multitude of people, man. There's too many to mention that are going into how women are demons. And then not only that, you've got these women on TikTok exposing themselves, using social media as their own personal diary, man. Women, that's what women will actually confess, that they use social media as a personal diary so that they can go back through it later on and look through it and see what their life's been like, man. Because they think that their life's supposed to be like, they really think that their life's a movie and they think that they're the star of the show, man. But really, the man's the star of the show. And that's why they expect all these things from a man. But then expect that the man's not supposed to expect nothing from them. Which again exposes how these women are, man. Like the delusion that you see from these women when they come onto this Kevin Samuels, right? Exposes these women to the soul, man. About how they don't know what the hell they're doing. And it makes you see even more how these women don't really believe in God, man. They don't believe in the Lord. They believe in themselves. This is Micah chapter 7 and verse 8. Rejoice not against me, O mine enemy. When I fall, I shall arise. When I sit in the darkness, the Lord shall be a light unto me. I will bear the indignation of the Lord, because I have sinned against him, until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me. He will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold his righteousness. Then she that is mine enemy, all you Israelite women, right, shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is Yahweh thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now she shall be trodden down as the mire of the streets. And that's all you women, man. You're going to be exposed. You're getting exposed and you're exposing yourself, really. That's the thing. You come in on here, on social media, right? You've got all of these tricks of the trade that you've got. All these FaceTime apps, all these face photo changing apps to where you can make yourself look like a completely different person, man. These apps are damn near changing nationalities when you women take the pictures, man. And you can pretend online that you look like a certain way when you don't, man. You've got makeup that you can pretend as though you look like that. You've got these surgeries that you can pretend as though your body's naturally like that, but it's not. But it's not like that, really. But to the Lord really sees what you really are. The Lord really knows whether you're worthy or not. The Lord knows your faults. So you can fake to a man, but you can't fake and lie to the Lord, because the Lord knows what you really are. And the Lord isn't no simp. So he doesn't care how pretty you think you are. He doesn't care, man. And he's going to expose all of you. But social media, the point is the social media it's just exposed. It's allowed you women to expose yourself. This is Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 9. Rise up, ye women are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. All right, so listen up. That's what's being said. Listen up. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women are at ease. Be ye troubled. So like a be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip ye and make ye bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. So you're going to be trying to seek back to those times when you could bun a man out on the street. Who the fuck do you think you are? You ain't lit. Period. All that dumb, stupid way that you hoes be talking, man. Right? You can run your mouth now and get away with these things, but the day is going to come where some of you women are going to try and talk like that to men, and you're going to get, oh my days, man, it's going to be horrible. And here's something that I'm not trying to say this is a prophecy or nothing like that, but it's safe to say that you can assume that this is going to happen, right? That women are going to be, when the martial law troops and all these soldiers are coming through into the land, man, there's going to be women that are going to try and think that they can try and use their beauty on these men. But these men are not going to be having that, man. And in fact, you know what? I'm gonna read what's gonna happen, man. Let me read what's gonna happen. Because these women do not have a clue how much men are pretty much protecting them, even though they run their mouths, man. They actually think that they've got some kind of power in this world. And let me read the scripture. Let me read it. This is Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 16. In fact, Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 15. In fact, Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 14. And it shall be as the chase roll, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one to his own land. So there's going to be civil wars going on, man. Everyone's going to be trying to be on their own side. It's going to be very nationalist in that day. Everything's going to be, to use an easy term, everything's going to get racial, man. So women ain't going to be having as many rights in that time, because their freedom's going to be taken away. And if they want to try and think that they can try and go and fend for themselves, go on then. Because when times get harsh anyway and your belly's grumbling, you ain't really thinking about what a woman's ass cheeks look like, or what a woman's lips look like, or what a woman's face looks like. You're thinking about how can I eat. You're thinking about survival. And a woman's not really a benefit when it comes to times of survival. She's actually more of a hindrance, man. Because now she's going to be screaming in time when you have to shut your mouth and be quiet because people might be walking past, right? If it comes to a fight that might break out, a woman's not really skilled at fighting, is she? So she's going to be hiding behind you while expecting you to be fending off 10 savages. And all she's going to be doing in the crowd in the background is screaming, making up bare noise, man, for the most part. Women are not really trained to be fighters, are they? That's the man's role. Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 14, it shall be as the chase roll, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one to his own land. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. So people are going to be getting hurt, man, in this time. Verse 16, their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. So men are going to be simping for women in that day. And I don't need to go into no more in depth into what that scripture means, man. It's very clear. Women don't thrive in times like this. They find trouble in times like this, man, and they realize how weak they are. And all you have to do is go on the internet and find any street fight video or anything like that, any kind of video where chaos is happening, and all you're gonna hear in the background, for the most part, is women screaming. That's what you're going to hear for the most part. Now, there's some women that try and fight and stuff like that, but they're fighting against another woman that can't really cause as much harm, man. But when it comes to women trying to fight men, and if the man really turns up the testosterone levels real quick, you instantly see that the woman goes straight back to knowing that she's got XY chromosome, X chromosomes, man. She starts to realize her DNA makeup then and her biology. This is 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. If men are going to be afraid, what are women going to be like? Verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. So men ain't going to have no pity on people in that day. Right now, men pity women. They think, oh, you can't do that, she's a girl. Or you can't do that, she's a lady. Or you can't do that, she's weak. She's weaker, right? But in the times coming, that thought process is not going to be there. In fact, people are going to think, oh, she's weaker, so that's an easier target. I'm not going to get any serious wounds that require medical care that could cause me to die if I rob her. So I'm going to rob her instead, because that's easier. than robbing a man, because the man might fight back and I might end up with a grievous wound that I can't heal. So let me go for the easier choice. Verse 19 again. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbour, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. And just to make this point as well, right? Women love the flashy things, man, right? Women are always have access to the necessities of life for the most part. For the most part, women always have access to the necessities and the luxuries of life. But when the luxuries start getting taken away, they're going to bug out at that. So how much more when the necessities, when food, water, products to clean yourself, when that stuff goes, how much more? Because a woman needs a lot for all the ways how us men, we think that women are so beautiful and stuff like that, which women are, right? They are, man. Let's not lie. Women are beautiful and stuff like that, right? When they're spruced up and all of that. But how much effort does it take for most of these women that we see in the day to even look like that, man? It takes a hell of a lot of effort, and most of it is fake. So when all the ability to maintain these things is taken away, what are they going to be able to do, man? When there's no hot water, right? When all their products that they're using, all that makeup's taken away, when there's no proper ways to clean yourself, they're going to stink, man. They're not going to smell nice. When they can't shave their legs, there's no razors for them to shave their legs and all of these things. Their legs are going to be hairy as hell. Their armpits are going to be hairy as hell, right? Some of these women, you might find out that they got a damn little moustache going on the top of their lip, man, and that they've been shaving it this whole time. A little bit of a peach fuzz going, man. And the internet's going to get taken away from them, so they ain't going to be able to be plastering their whole batty crease all online, man. Every damn photo with 25 different angles of their gluteus, Ras Clark Maximus, man. Amos chapter 8 and verse 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord, because the internet's going to get taken away. That's one of the main ways how the word of the Lord gets spread across the world. But then also the men that teach the Bible are not going to be able to teach it no more, because God's going to take them away, because it's not, the word of the Lord is not going to be needed to be spoken anymore, because it's reached every ear that it needs to reach. It's going to have reached all the ears that it needs to reach. And that's according to Revelation, the 7th chapter, where once the 144,000 are sealed, the destruction is going to come. And what are you women going to do in that time, man? You've exposed yourself. You've exposed yourself that you say that you don't need men and all of these things. You've exposed yourself that you think that men are supposed to do all these things for you, and that you don't have to do nothing for them. And men have saw these videos. Some of these videos have gone viral, man. And your faces are plastered in men's minds. They know what you look like. They know your attitude. They know your mentality. So when they see you in real life, they're not going to respect you. And when times get hard, they're going to know exactly what kind of person you are. So you're not even going to be able to deceive or manipulate them like how you have been. All you women that have been going on Kevin Samuels, running your mouths, being bugged out, you think that people didn't watch these videos and saw, oh, that's that woman. Oh, she said that she treats men like this. So when you come up against them, they're going to be like, nah, I forget this woman. All you men that spoke badly to the apostles, men saw you as well. They saw how you was treating men that believe in the Lord. So when you try and come to men of the Lord later on in that time, and men know how you was talking about the doctrine and how you was talking smack, they're going to be like, well, I know how you feel about the word of the Lord, so forget you. Go away. This is Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. They ain't going to be saying, I ain't going to give you my number, but I'll give you my Insta. You know what I mean? That's what these women try and say. I don't really know too much about. I don't really be out there like that, man. But that's the things that they be saying, man. You can't follow. I'm not gonna give you my number, but I'll give you my Facebook, or I'll give you my Insta, right? You can follow me on Insta though. That's how that's the kind of arrogance levels that they have right now. Or they be sending out their Cash App, right? That's what they be doing too, right? They be setting up an OnlyFans and trying to tell people to buy their OnlyFans, right? That's how they be going on. Or they be telling the man that if he don't spend this amount of money on dates, then she ain't dealing with him. Or if he don't make this amount of money, she ain't dealing with him. Or if he isn't born 6 foot or above, she ain't dealing with him. That's how they are, right? So when it's time, and men remember that you said all of these things, what are you going to do then? And that's why Thawada Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai for using the internet to expose you women, man. Because it's proved that all the things that are written in the scriptures have been proved by all the things that you women, under no influence but anything else other than your own mouths, have exposed your own selves and exposed that these things are true. Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. They're going to be trying to supplicate in that day and expect mercy. But a lot of them ain't going to find any, man. Because just because they're going to be saying these things, that doesn't mean they're going to be accepted. The men are going to have the choice in that day. And just like how you women like to be arrogant now, the men are going to be arrogant. Men that have been waiting for the kingdom in that day, and they can see the kingdom are getting closer and closer. They ain't going to be wanting no woman to be their wife that used to be showing their ass cheeks on Instagram or OnlyFans. They're going to want a woman that might have in this world been considered nothing, man, but was just a humble, meek woman. They're going to want a woman like that, man. But you other women are going to be begging still, because that's how women are, man. They always think there's a guy to come by and save the day. And for the most part, they've been right. But what did it say in Isaiah 32? That them things are going to be taken away. And there's so much more that can be said in this video, but I'm not going to extend it past after me reading this. This is Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women. For the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. All right, you women don't care, man. You really actually think that you can just go around talking to men however you want to. And there's a reason why you don't talk to every single woman that you meet that treats you the way our men do in the same way, because you know that the women will fight you. You know that. So you understand that men really are more respectful than women are, man. Because if men was to treat women how they treat men, you women wouldn't even dare speak and open your mouths, man. Where the way are you going? You wouldn't dare. And when it gets chaotic in the world, you're gonna have the chance to see exactly how much of a boss babe you are in that day, man. Verse 10, many days and years shall you be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease, be ye troubled, ye careless ones, strip ye and make ye bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant field from the fruitful vine. You know how a baby goes on when they want milk, right? They want that milk and they're thirsting for that nourishment, man. That's how you women are gonna be like. You're gonna be thirsting for the nourishment of the government aid, for the nourishment of getting easier jobs, for the nourishment of being able to become a millionaire from taking pictures of your damn toes, for the nourishment of being able to get by just by your looks, which some of you are able to get by looks that ain't even nothing special, to be honest with you. But that's going to all be taken away, man, and I'm going to end the lesson there. The social media has exposed you women, man. All praises to Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Rakar Kodash, and Shalom to the nation of Israel. Shalom.